I'm 17 and I've been a kid my whole life, and now all of a sudden I have to make these big decisions about my future? What the heck? Hey imaginary friend, my name is Lee, and today I'm stepping back from my typical content about branding and business to actually go back in time a little bit and talk to my younger self. The younger version of me that was so overwhelmed and confused about what to do with my life after high school. So for her, I want to tackle the age-old question, is art school worth it? Honestly, nah. College is a scam, not worth it. That's it, that's the whole video. Okay, bye. No, obviously I'm joking, not really, okay? It's a bit more nuanced than that, so let's dive into it. Let me first start by telling you a little bit about me. I have wanted to be an artist since the moment I could hold a pencil. Literally, whenever I had to do those what do you want to be when you grow up type things as a kid, it was always artist. Always. It was never doctor or movie star or astronaut, and it certainly was never brand designer and brand strategist, which is actually what I do now, but I'm losing the point. I've always had an artistic and creative spirit. It's just part of who I am. So it's natural that I would want to pursue a career in creativity, right? But growing up, I experienced so much internal conflict trying to reconcile my passion for creativity with my desire for safety and security. I wanted to be an artist, but I didn't want to be poor. I didn't want to be a starving artist. But unfortunately, my experience growing up, I didn't have any role models for what it could actually look like to be financially stable, financially successful as an artist. Unless I worked for like Disney or something, which I didn't think was realistic, I wasn't exposed to any realistic examples of how you could make money, making art and being creative. So my brain didn't really have anything to grasp onto to really think that it was possible. I think the way that people talk about this might actually be changing for the better, for younger generations, which is really great, but that just wasn't my personal experience growing up. I was constantly getting the message that trying to pursue art as a career was not a smart thing to do. And I got pretty good grades in school, so I was very much pushed towards taking an academic career path. And specifically, I was constantly told that going to university was more valuable for some reason than going to college. I kind of got the message that college was for stupid people, which is not even true. But I was sold this idea that getting a 4-year university degree was pretty much the only way to get a job and not end up homeless. And honestly, I'm still a little bit pissed about all the university propaganda that I was fed as a really impressionable young teen, but that's maybe a topic for another day. But I actually didn't go to art school right after high school though. I at first tried to go the more realistic route, and I went to a university for a more practical and useful degree. And I hated it. It made me want to jump in front of a train. Really. So just as a quick side note, if you're the type of person that feels an intense pull towards creativity, if you feel like it's a core part of who you are, but you're scared about the future and about making money, I want you to know that it actually is possible to make a living as a creative person. And you know what? It might not look the way that you think that it should. For so long, for pretty much my whole life, I wanted to be an artist, but right now I'm actually not an artist. And I'm still really happy with my career. I'm a graphic designer and a brand strategist, and I love it. But these things were not even on my radar when I was a student. I actually thought that the graphic design kids were super weird when I went to art school. But anyway, back to the point. After trying to be realistic and practical, I decided to just embrace my passion and just go for the art and creativity thing. But I still held on to that belief that had been instilled in me that I needed a 4-year degree in order to have any kind of real future. So I applied to an art school, specifically an art university. I went to OCAD-U, which is the weirdest looking school I have ever seen. Like, what even is this? It literally has legs. Like, it looks like it's just gonna walk off one day. Yeah, that's where I went to school. And I loved it. OCAD has a really special place in my heart. But wait, at the beginning of this video, I said that art school wasn't worth it, right?
College is a scam.
And now I'm saying I loved it? That's kind of confusing, right? So, okay, let me explain. Despite how negative I might come across with my feelings about the post-secondary education system,
College is a scam.
I honestly can't say that I actually regret going to art school because that's where I fell in love with an 80-year-old Vandercook No. 4 proofing press. And unfortunately, I don't have a spare $21,000 to buy one of these giant ass machines. So I'll probably just never print on a letterpress ever again. And that makes me actually so sad. But the point I'm trying to make is that I probably never would have even known how much I love traditional printmaking on these giant old machines if I never went to art school. It just wasn't something that was ever within my reach. It wasn't something that I was ever exposed to in my daily life. In high school, you might do painting and drawing in your art classes, but you're never gonna print on a letterpress machine. So I don't know, maybe art school is worth it if you wanna have access to industrial level machines and tools that you literally couldn't get otherwise. But if you think that you wanna be like a graphic designer or a painter or something, honestly, a Bachelor of Design or a Bachelor of Art is just not really necessary to pursue that type of career. Whenever I watch other videos like this or read online posts about, is college worth it? Is my degree useless? It's a very popular question. There's a really common answer that a lot of people share, which is that the true value of going to college or university is not actually in the classroom. It's in the connections that you make and the community that you join. It's the experience of being on your own for the first time and all the new things that you'll try and what you'll discover about yourself. The real college degree was the friends you made along the way. But you don't actually need to go to college or university to experience those things. And I think this is especially true for art and design students specifically. For me, I can honestly say that I don't remember anything from my classes in university. Not a single damn thing. Almost none of it was relevant to my actual career as a creative person. Or it was such basic information that I really could have just learned it on my own without spending thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours at school. And I think that's one of my biggest issues with the post-secondary school system or just education system in general. It's the lack of control that you have over your own path. You take all these classes that the institution has deemed necessary for earning a degree, but you never really stop and ask yourself, why? Is it really necessary? Why do you even need a degree? What do you even want to do after this? And I think if you can't answer those questions, it might not be worth it for you to go to art school or any college really, at least not yet. And the reason I say that is because it is very expensive for what it is. The most valuable thing that I got out of my university experience was just having the dedicated time to explore what I wanted to do with my life. But most people don't even actually do that. They don't explore, they don't experiment, they don't prioritize self-discovery and making connections. They prioritize getting good grades. But I feel like that's one of the main reasons that so many people end up feeling like their degree is useless. And they end up going into careers that have nothing to do with what they actually went to school for. I just personally think art school is very expensive with a very small return on your investment, especially if you aren't quite sure what you want to do with your life yet. Instead of taking out loans to attend a really cool, prestigious art university, Maybe start with a few classes at a local college. See if there's an art studio that you can join. Start some personal projects. And maybe try to learn some stuff online. I know it doesn't sound as cool as going off to college, but it's a lot more practical. And it can be just as valuable, if not more so. I can speak from my own experience. The things that have actually gotten me jobs, the things that have actually projected my life and my career forward, were not things that I got from school. They were personal projects that I took on. Things like starting a business and teaching myself how to code. And I will acknowledge that not everyone is that good at teaching themselves things, so that might not be a long-term solution for you, but I do think it is worth it to at least try things out on your own first before going straight to college or university right after high school. Because at the end of the day, going to university or college for an art education is a huge gamble with really bad odds. You're betting away thousands of dollars, and more importantly than those thousands of dollars, you're betting away years of your life for a piece of paper, a receipt basically, that may or may not eventually result in a job or an opportunity. But when it comes to the art and design world specifically, your degree means pretty much nothing if it's not paired with experience and a good portfolio. Those are the things that employers actually care about. And those are things that you don't need to go to school for. So in conclusion, the main thing that I want you to take away from this video is this. If you are going to go to art school, don't take any academic classes, don't learn anything, just spend all your time in the studio making art and making friends. No, I'm obviously joking, but I don't know, dude, I can't tell you what to do. If you can afford it, maybe go for a year or two and see how you like it. Maybe do what I did and just hop around between programs, trying out lots of different things, trying to figure out what you like. And then by the time you actually do fall in love with a practice, you've already spent 3.5 years and thousands of dollars doing random stuff, and your credits are so scattered that it would take you another 3.5 years to actually graduate and earn a degree. So you decide to just drop out, and you still get a job at a design studio anyway, and your coworkers actually have degrees and they only make like 25 cents more than you, and they hate their lives. Yeah, honestly, I don't know if art school is worth it. Sorry if this video was a bit of a downer, but I basically just wanted to offer you the idea that you can be open to exploring other possibilities with your life and your future. There's no one right path to your future goals. In fact, don't even be so attached to your future goals. Like I mentioned earlier, the work that I do now was not even on my radar when I was a student. None of us knows what the future actually holds for us. There are so many different ways that you can live a creative and fulfilling life. Just go make art. Okay, bye.